I mean, I think what's really clear that I feel like you've overlooked a lot is that a lot of the things that Joe Biden has done that you don't love are because he first tried to do things the right way through legislation. But Congress won't do it. So I guess my question for you is, what would your plan be for Kamala if not to try to get a law through Congress when Congress won't pass them?
I'm perfectly happy for trying to get a law through Congress, provided I, actually like the law. I mean,
yeah, sure.
But remain in Mexico.
Which is fraught with rape.
Remain
in Mexico has been found to be really dangerous for the people who are stuck there.
Okay, and it is also a fact of the matter that if you're talking about controlling the border, remain in Mexico is a better way to control the border than simply releasing people into the interior with a come back to court date.
So you feel that would be better than, say, funding border security and related agencies to house those people safely?
It is generally not a matter of funding at the border. It really is not.
Then what is it?
It is a matter of how asylum is actually interpreted.
I am here with the one, the only Ryan Basham to break down everything that's going on politically.
The thing that I've been waiting for, that I think we've all been waiting for a few weeks, is the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
She impressed people at the DNC. I mean, I was there, I was impressed, but I was inclined to impress because I'm a Democrat.
Right.
But what she did in the debate was prove that Donald Trump is exactly what we say he is.
Mm-hmm.
She baited him, and he took it every single time.
We are chatting with political director Ryan Basham. He is our director of political programming. So now that the DNC has ended, what is next for Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz?
In our elections, in American elections, we typically have months and months and months to educate voters about who a candidate is. But, going into, I still like to call him Uncle Joe, dropping out of the race, 30% of Americans had no idea who Kamala Harris was. So our job is to go out there, educate people about who they are, and also, spread the message of being a joyful warrior, of hope. I think Americans are tired of cynical, negative, complaining about all the things in the world and how awful everything is. But I would bet, and I'm not a betting person, so this is a lot for me, I would bet a small amount of money that we don't just eke out 270 electoral votes. I would bet in several swing states we get huge margins, and it's impossible for the Republicans to justify trying to challenge the election.
If a Democrat that I thought was great were unjustly, in my view, persecuted, found guilty, I would also be someone who stood up and said, I don't care if I thought you didn't do it. You're a felon now. We have other people. There are so many people on the Republican side who are talented and capable and would be great presidents. There's no reason to stick to the one who, has a loyal but minority of the population fan base that is hardcore about him, when, there are some really incredible Republicans that would be great presidents.
The vast majority of drag shows happen in places that are 21 and up. So it's not as if there's a rash of kids being taken into bars and seeing. But I think it's really important to note that the argument about whether or not a certain art form is inappropriately sexual or not is a tale as old as time. I think drag is being targeted because it pings that part of people who aren't sure what's okay. Adults take their young kids to Hooters all the time. Adults show their kids R-rated movies all the time, but those are their personal choices. And here's the thing. It's not accurate to say that most of them are sexualized, because how in the world would you be able to empirically prove that?
I don't know if I agree with that. I think something like 2/3 of the delegates are still outstanding after tonight.
Right.
The field has become dramatically smaller
Ryan,
almost overnight.
Let me pause you there, because, what is the case for Elizabeth Warren in this case?
Here came down to two things for me. First of all, she's still the only candidate I know of to list the black and brown trans women who have been murdered to date by name.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat, she didn't wait to do it as a ploy. She did it up front and meant it.
Yes.
But more importantly, those of us who are progressive in this party want the things that she and Sanders advocate for, but we believe she can actually do it. Now, aside from the fact that she may not come out on top in this race, were I her right now, I'd look at the field and go, there's still a lot up for grabs, and if I can't get the nominee, I want to damn well be sure that I get a lot of delegates. So if I can't just make them court me for my delegates to become VP, I get something really good out of this. If I were her, that's how I'm thinking right now.